Dude, we've got some cool stuff planned for today's stream, okay? We've got a little bit of a D&D kind of vibe going. Chat can give some input, chat can give like decisions or direction or like opinions if they want. It's gonna be pretty simplified because not everybody knows D&D, right? I wanna make it accessible to everybody. So we're only gonna be rolling D20s. So we'll be able to do a little bit of D&D type stuff today. Heyo! Cool as f***ing you hate it. Without further ado, the adventure begins. You are a young novice wizard. You don't know that many spells. You're just kind of getting into magic. You got a mentor. They're teaching you a little bit about magic, but you haven't really paid attention a whole lot in class. But your mentor asked you to deliver a package to a cabin in the woods. You're not allowed to see what's inside of it. They said this needs to go to a customer in the woods, if you will. You don't know who the customer is. You just have a map with a rough location of this cabin in the forest nearby. That's all you have. So you start your adventure. You're at the very edge of town, about to walk into the forest. There's a little barricade at the end of town that's like falling apart. People clearly use this as a path. What do you guys want to do from there? Skipping to the delivery location? We'll say you're singing whatever the hell song that is. You turn this little adventure into a vibe, dude. So you start walking into the woods. We'll say it's evening time. You're skipping there. Sun's going down. And as the sun's setting through this forest, you see a fork in the path. Classic fork in the path technique. The left path looks a little bit faster, but the right path like kind of loops around like a little creek bend or like a river, kind of. Mine curves right, so I go right. You're disgusting. But anyways, you go right. The path gets a little bit more rough. You come across this creek. You can hear it in the distance as you come up to it. You hear like the water doing its little water thing. I don't know what the water does. It runs. I don't know. I just work here. You get to this creek. You hear like a branch crack. And you look over and something's drinking out of the creek. You can hear like the lapping of the water, but you don't know what it is. Investigate, but stealthily. Okay. So we'll check how stealthily you're gonna go. 16? Cool. You can see that after, moving a couple branches to the side very carefully before you step on them, and only stepping on like soft patches of dirt, you see that it's a owlbear cub drinking out of the river here. Its feathers are getting a little wet and it's kind of like ruffling them off. It's lapping up the water. It's getting a little drinky poo. So you can see that this owlbear is on its own. You can't see like a mom. You can't see anything like that out there. You just see this little owlbear sitting there. And the sun is still lowering down. It's gotten a little bit darker. You got an owlbear sitting across the creek from you. It's on the other side of the creek, drinking up a little bit of water. It hasn't noticed you yet. Is the river too big and deep to cross? It's not. You could do it, but it's about waist high. So as soon as you get into it, you're not going to be able to move very fast, and you're not going to be able to do it quietly. I try to perceive for owl mommy.
Sweeteners. That's a 10.
You kind of look around, and you see what you're able to perceive as its footsteps leading up to where it's at. You do see bigger footsteps around it, but there's no immediate danger because there's obviously you don't see like a mama owlbear there yet. This is kind of fun, dude. I kind of f*** with this. I go around it, but give it a wide berth. You're able to cross the river. As you sink into the river at the beginning of the crossing, kind of like starts rising up. It gets a little deeper, but then it kind of levels out. You're wet from like your belly button down. Your pants are wet. Your shoes are wet. Your hands are wet, but the package you were able to keep above your head. You get to the other side of the river, and the owlbear is still chilling there. It hasn't really noticed you yet, but you're able to cross the river. Do you have a weapon? Yeah. What kind of weapon do you have? You have a bow and arrow? Okay. Cool. So you have a bow and arrow. What do you guys say you do, huh? Continue onward. I'm not a baby killer. You don't have to kill it, dude. But okay. You're moving forward. The air is quiet. You're kind of just smelling the forest at this point. You don't really see any kind of lights or any distinguishing factors. But you are a novice wizard. So you're able to cast up like a little bit of a glow out of your left hand while you hold the package in your right hand. So you got the package here, and you're able to conjure up like a little bit of a glow so you can see your footsteps at this point. You come across like what looks to be more of a traveled path at this point. In the past, like someone's brought a cart or like a caravan through here. It looks like a little bit of a trade route kind of, but it's not like a road, right? It's just like a little path made out of dirt, but you can see like wagon tracks. You continue forward a little bit. You can see like what kind of looks like a crashed wagon. I call out to see if anyone needs help. Hello, is anyone there? Okay. So you're calling out to see if anyone needs help. You say, hello, is anyone there? You don't get an immediate response back. As you're moving closer a little bit to it, you're being cautious, but as you're moving closer to it, you hear like rustling around. Like the cart is flipped on its side. The wheels are facing you. You can't see what's in it because the contents of it are on the other side of the undercarriage of it, I guess, but it's flipped over. But you can hear like someone's like rummaging around through it. You run to the noise now and arrow's drawn. So you're running up to the cart. The arrow's drawn. We'll make you roll. We'll say that's a number. We'll say 17. Okay. So you're able to come up to the cart, butted up against it. Like you're crouched a little bit. You're butted up against the back of the cart, right, as it's flipped over. The wheels are still facing you. So you're kind of nestled in between, like the wheels are on either side of you. And you're like kind of butted up with your shoulder against it with your arrow drawn. You hear a very high-pitched, erratic voice rummaging through this cart. It's definitely looking for something. It's saying, oh, it's gotta be here. It's gotta be here. But you haven't managed to spook the person or creature or entity that's looking through this cart. They're very much not focused on whatever that noise was, that was you running up. They're not even fazed by it. What are you looking for, stranger? Keep your hands in the sky before I make you a kebab. Kebab? Yeah, I guess there'd be a consequence for that because you don't know if this person's gonna be intimidated and scared or freak out and attack. What is that? Where is it at? Where's the... The rustling stops and you hear rustling through branches and stuff, like as the person's backing up, like definitely aware of your presence. They're kind of backing up and they're talking to themselves. They're like, who is there? Can I say that my voice cracked? Yeah, your voice cracked. It was not very intimidating. So they're not very scared of you, but they're definitely worried that someone else is here and that other person might be looking for what they're looking for. I'll help you look if it'll send you on your way. You're offering to help this person, right? As you kind of peek your head over the top and the side of this carriage that's like kind of tipped over, you see that it's this little goblin, and you know it's got this long kind of flowing, like almost like a gnome's hat, what you would see as a gnome's hat, but it's like dark blue. It's like dark clothing, kind of like ratty looking, like holes in it, torn edges. You can see that it's kind of like backing up and it's still kind of scared. It doesn't want help. It's very like afraid of help or the fact that you're even here in the first place. The goblin kind of like backs up and like hides behind a tree. But definitely, like you can tell that it's definitely not looking for help. It's definitely more concerned about why you're here. And you can kind of hear like behind the tree hyperventilating and like freaking out. I look in the area and checking to see if there's anything of note. Like you've worked your way around the cart, right? You're no longer taking cover. You're between the cart and the tree. And on the other side of the tree is this goblin that's hiding from you. So you can still hear like the goblin is like kind of like hyperventilating, breathing hard, and kind of like peeking around the tree, but not like attacking you. As you turn around, you know, you look into this cart and you're kind of looking around. You can see like a bunch of like boxes, like wooden boxes. You see some trinkets, like little rings and stuff falling onto the floor and like kind of like half buried into the dirt. It looks like this cart's been there for a little bit. You hear thumping, like a very loud, feathery thumping in the woods close to you. And it's a little bit darker now. You still have faint visibility, and it's kind of like rattling the sticks in the cart around you as you're looking for this thing. You hear the goblin say, "Oh God, it's back!" And that's where we're gonna stop it for this session. Hey, yo, look at me, storyteller, huh? Fire, thank you, dude. We'll have to do like, I'll have to edit this out and we'll just string those along in like part 1 or whatever. We'll do like a series on TikTok maybe. That could be cool, right? Huh? What do we think about that, chat? Because I enjoy doing that. Like, I like doing that. I like improving shit like that. It was a good time. So thank you very much for that. That was cool. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this style of content, let me know down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, and consider following me on Twitch for your chance to be in the next episode. But until then, safe travels and happy adventuring.